Hi, my name is Chanceji Muyaga, and I'll be representing about the Lomwe culture. So the Lomwe people were the largest ethnic group in Malawi, which they were coming from Mozambique, and the cultural groups that they were involved were including the Chewa Yao and the Ngoni. So here in Malawi, back in the days, it was called Nyasaland, and the Lomwe culture, the Lomwe people, they settled in the southern part of Malawi, which was the Moranje side and the Zomba side, just to mention a few of them. So their language was known as Chilomwe, a Bantu language closely related to Chichewa. So their traditional economy, they depended on subsistence farming, which they grow crops like maize, cassava, millet, and beans, and some cash crops like tobacco, cotton, and tea for income. And they were also involved in hunting and gathering. In the past, they relied on some gathering wild fruits, just to mention a few of them. So on their social structure, the Lomwe people, they were a matrilineal society. So they depended on the mother side, not the father side, similar to the Chewa people. And their village life, they were controlled by the chief known as Mfumu, and they lived in extended families household, including their uncles, aunts, cousins, and grandparents. So in their traditional religion, they believed in ancient worships. So the Lomwe, they were influenced by the spirits back in the days known as Mizim, who protected their living life. And when other people were sick, they believed in the Mizim. And the others, they were influenced through Christianity, and many Lomwe people were converted into Christianity. And their cultural ceremonies, the Lomwe people believed in initiation ceremonies, Gule Wankulu, and the Gule Wankulu dances. So on the initiation ceremonies, known as Jando in Chichewa, both girls and boys. So on the boys, they believed in Jando, and on the girls, they believed in Chinamwali. So on the Gule Wankulu, known as the Nyau dance, it was a secret society dance performed by the Chewa and the Lomwe, and they were involved in mass dances presenting the spirits. When someone is sick, they dance those dances so that they can heal the person who is sick. So on the music and the dances, the Lomwe involved in ngoma in Chichewa, and singing and dancing known as Manganje and Nganda, which is popular in the southern part of Malawi. So the Lomwe people, they eat nsima, a thick maize porridge, and their dried fish known as usipa, and pumpkin leaves known as chibwabwa. And there are notable figures, like notable people in the Lomwe culture, and people known as Bakili Muluzi, the former president of Malawi. And so on the factors and the decline of the Lomwe culture is that language erosion. The Lomwe language, which is known as the Chilomwe and the Ilomwe, many Lomwe people have migrated to urban areas and other regions, leading to loss of traditional practices and displacement due to the colonial and post-colonial policies that disturbed the culture. And through the westernization and globalization, the culture of Lomwe have been modernized, influencing through the Christianity, Western education, and the media that have led to abandonment of traditional beliefs and the costumes. The traditional ceremonies such as initiation rites and incense worshipping have been fading due to the Western influences and some political marginalization in Malawi. Example, the Lomwe historical less political dominant comparing to the Chewa and the Yao, leading to reducing cultural presentation among the Lomwe people. So the Lomwe culture can be preserved in many ways, and these ways can be through cultural festivals and traditional practices like the Lomwe culture festivals in Malawi, such as the dances like Masamba and Manganje, and the musics. They can be preserved in many ways, but through the passing down of elders and historic, the dances can be disturbed. So through academic and the NGO involvement, they can record the Lomwe proverbs, folktales, and medical knowledge so that they can be passed through generation to generation. So another way of preserving the Lomwe culture is language revival initiatives. So some organizations and some scholars are working on documents and how to teach the Lomwe language through radio programs, community schools such as in Mozambique and Malawi, so that they can influence and promote the Lomwe literacy. So another way also on preserving the Lomwe culture is recognizing the national policies. So example, here in Malawi, there have been some calls on greater inclusion on the Lomwe history in school curriculums, where learners and students in the schools are educated on the history of Lomwe and other cultures such as the Tumbuka and the Ngoni, so that the history can be passed through generation and generation. So the preservations of the Lomwe culture have many challenges here in Malawi, such as lack of funds and lack of centralized leadership. So on the challenges, on the lack of leadership, most of the well notable people that they know the logo, the language, and the history of the Lomwe, they have died, and others have lack of funds so that they can boost the history of the Lomwe culture and to pass generation to generation. So the Lomwe culture, in conclusion, the Lomwe culture have promoted and have boosted the economy of Malawi, as the Lomwe people are involved in many farming activities through cash crops, making the economy of Malawi to boost and making the history of Malawi to be in good condition. So this is all about, I want to discuss more about the Lomwe culture. Thank you.